To the standing order number 67. Honorable Speaker, I am very ready with the standing order number 67. If you allow me, I can now put that standing order number 67 and proceed with the motion and proceed with the moving the motion. But all the same, Honorable Speaker, still we have an option of adjourning now, and not in the afternoon, Honorable Speaker. You can adjourn for around 15 minutes. Then we come back after 15 minutes, Honorable Speaker. Then I can move that motion with your guidance, Honorable Speaker. With that, Honorable Speaker, I want to thank you for guiding me.
Sorry. If I can put the wrong standing order, it should be standing order, I think from 63. I think from 63 all the way to 70. I think standing order 63 all the way to 78.
So with that, Honorable Speaker, because
yes,
now...
Sorry. I think I put the wrong standing order.
I think now it is evidence that we need to adjourn for around 20 minutes so that we can consult that standing order well. And I'll proceed with the business of it. Because this business is a matter of county importance, Honorable Speaker, and any other issue, Honorable Speaker, we are begging we actually deal with this one because it is touching all other issues that we are going to deal with them, especially this week, Honorable Speaker. In that, Honorable Speaker, thank you very much.
Now, with that, honorable members, I now want to revert to the issue raised by Allocations and the standing order number 37. Honorable members, the speaker also buys time to consult. So I've been buying time to consult on this matter. And honorable members, I want to be very fair. I have to be extremely fair. The matter Honorable Kera was raising, just confirmed that doesn't apply under standing order number 37, Honorable Kera. Just like they raised earlier, standing order number 37 doesn't require the resolution of this House. However, I'm being referred to standing order number 115 and 35. And on these two standing orders, they require that we adjourn debate now to debate something else. The timelines are not offered, and the timelines fall under standing order number 1. And I want to donate that standing order number 1 regarding standing order number 35 and 115 to this House to make a determination as to whether you want the standing order number 35 and 115 to take place now or in the afternoon. In the view of the Speaker and procedurally, I would propose that it comes in the afternoon. But order. Okay. And I'm saying this because the House is for us, and we make decisions for ourselves. The only matter I would pray for is maybe a 5 or 10 minute break as I do my final round of consultation, so that we resume after let us resume exactly at 11 a.m. so that I can offer further direction on this matter. And maybe open it up for debate.
Mr. Speaker! Justice is there?
So, honorable members, as earlier sought, I have a communication to make regarding the matter raised by Allocations this morning, which I'll offer in the form of a communication from the chair. And after this, we shall proceed with the debate that we had in the morning. Honorable members, earlier, I had guarded this house on a matter raised by the Honorable Morindi Kiora on a matter wanted moved under Standing Order number 37 of the County Assembly of Embu Standing Orders. I requested for an adjournment to consult further on the direction I had given, being under part 14 of the County Assembly of Embu Standing Orders. Upon further consultation on this matter, several fundamental issues on procedure, the law, and our standing orders have sufficed. Grounds upon which are as hereunder. First, the substance of the motion as moved by Honorable Kiora is a motion of no confidence in the Budget and Appropriations Committee of the County Assembly of Embu. Naturally, this implies that it is removed from office of this committee and or transferring the role of this committee to another committee of the County Assembly. Honorable members, as stated above, this Honorable House is a house that functions under the Constitution, the applicable laws, and the standing orders. Under our standing orders, there is no provision for a vote of no confidence in a committee, nor is there provision to transfer the functions of one committee to another unless under legal provisions. However, this does not bar any member or members of this House from passing any resolutions to the above on factual and procedural grounds, and in so doing abide by the rule and requirements of the law pertaining to the operations of this House. Honorable members, upon further advice by the Secretariat on this matter, I wish to point out some glaring issues surrounding this motion and the Budget and Appropriations Committee on some alleged financial malpractices. This advice has informed that procedurally, this advice has informed that procedurally, the Budget and Appropriations Committee, the committee charged with the responsibility of considering all budgetary and fiscal matters of the county government on behalf of the County Assembly, procedurally conducted its affairs in accordance with the County Assembly of Embu Standing Orders, presented a report to this House regarding the matter as raised in the motion, and that this House unanimously adopted that report and the succeeding bill, which was assented to by the Governor without any memorandum raised, and is now an act. The letter had a reference from the CC Finance notwithstanding. Honorable members, this raises a fundamental question, therefore, on the legitimacy of this motion to challenge the Budget and Appropriations Committee on its actions while leaving out the County Assembly, which not only passed the report but also the bill. While I do not want to dwell so much on the substance matter of this motion, I will confine myself to the procedural and legal provisions. Now that I already made a determination on Standing Order number 37 and directed the mover to Standing Orders number 115 and 35, which essentially means that this motion lies under Part 14 of our Standing Orders, I wish to offer further guidance on its procedure. The motion seeks to oust from office the Budget and Appropriations Committee and refer its functions to the Ward Representation Committee. Inasmuch as this doesn't apply in our Standing Orders, I may not, as the Speaker, make a decision for this House, but rather guide it as under. 1. The motion under review requires further clarity as to whether the blame should be on the Budget Committee or on the whole House. 2. The motion under review requires sufficient grounds of proving beyond a reasonable doubt that the blame should be on the committee and not the whole House. 3. That the letter from the CEC member for finance, as quoted in the motion, is merely a review of the 2024-2025 Embu County Budget and Appropriations Act and offers no legal recourse on the Act, but suggests further engagement with the County Assembly, a supplementary budget, and a 20% absorption of the budget until a supplementary budget is approved. With this, I therefore wish to direct as follows. 1. That the move of the motion does consider the contents of his motion and proceed with it in full observance of the facts against the Budget and Appropriations Committee. 2. That the move of the motion does proceed with the motion in accordance with Part 14 of the County Assembly of Embu Standing Orders. 3. Once the above two are met, I shall offer further directions on the procedure of execution now that our Standing Orders have no provision for the same. Very kind regards, honorable members. Thank you.
Mr. Speaker.
Yes, Honorable Sami Muturi.
I like to seek indulgence on matter which, Mr. Speaker, without you allowing Mr. Speaker, but that to not study that the matters members are raising, Mr. Speaker, they are affecting not his house. The matter, Mr. Speaker, they are affecting entire Embu County, Mr. Speaker. And Mr. Speaker, we cannot ignore the fact, Mr. Speaker, figures never lie. And Mr. Speaker, you are aware, when we talk of issues of data goes in number, Mr. Speaker. And Mr. Speaker, the honorable members of this House, Mr. Speaker, they were elected here by people of Embu County. And the people who have elected us in this House, Mr. Speaker, they do not do it for us to come to enjoy privileges and favors from this House, Mr. Speaker. We are here representing the people who are in the bush, the people who are farmers, and the students who are in various schools, Mr. Speaker. And we cannot ignore the fact that any comment of this House, Mr. Speaker, did on behalf,
Mr. Speaker. Yes. Honorable Karoli.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
What is your point of order?
My point of order is first is to thank you for the wisdom ruling referring to the rules and regulations that guide this out. But my worry is the member challenging your ruling from what you say.
Thank you, Honorable Karoli. You know, I wanted the member to finish because he rose on a point of indulgence. Obviously, you cannot challenge the ruling of the Speaker. But you wanted seeking the indulgence of the Speaker. Maybe you just move straight to your point. What is it that you want to seek indulgence on?
Mr. Speaker, I'm seeking indulgence because when the members sit in any various committee, the Speaker sits on behalf of other members. And then, Mr. Speaker, when a matter, a certain committee of this House do sit there and do their own things, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I believe no speaker person. It's not a matter of the entire House. So I'm saying whether more than half members of this House, Mr. Speaker, believe it is the right time, Mr. Speaker, to do the right thing for the betterment of people of Embu. Whether, Mr. Speaker, you can cross your eye and use your standing order 1, which give you way out of solving the entire problem of people of Embu. Because, Mr. Speaker, if you allow things to go the way they are going in this House, Mr. Speaker, the entire House will be cursed. Because when people there suffer, when people die, Mr. Speaker, because of our people who are selfish, because of the people, Mr. Speaker, few, not all of us, few people who are selfish to an extent, they are taking this country like a personal property. Mr. Speaker, I'm urging you, because you are a man of wisdom, to rule this and agree with the more than half of the members of this House who believe that the budget committee should go to pave way, Mr. Speaker, for hospital to have medicine, to pave way, Mr. Speaker, because the matter we are handling here is with the public domain. People are aware that the few characters here, they have come.
Mr. Speaker.
Yes, Dr. Bonito.
One thing, Mr. Speaker, you have made a ruling that I think the mover of the motion should abide. What are we debating? Number 2, Mr. Speaker, sir, is the member saying that the governor signed this document, knowing very well there is no money meant for drugs in the county. Is that what he wants to allege?
Honorable Samuel Muturi, kindly conclude your indulgence, not over direction.
Mr. Speaker, I'm not saying, Mr. Speaker, that the governor side or whatever happened. We had the issue, Mr. Speaker, of JCs in this country. People took advantage of the situation. We had a natural calamities in this country when JCs were big issues. And whatever happened that time, Mr. Speaker, no member here can propose things were happening well. And Mr. Speaker, when few people of us who are back in this House collect the House, especially when few individuals to put this country astray, Mr. Speaker, we should not be judged by anybody. Mr. Speaker, I sit down by assuring you that you have your support and allow the mover, Mr. Speaker, to continue so that we can remove these 11 people so that they can go and invest their sense because I doubt their thinking.
Okay, Honorable members. Order. Honorable Sami Muturi, I think your point was simple, seeking the indulgence of the Speaker on the matter. And I think everything you raised has been captured in the communication. I have not curtailed the proceeding of this motion. However, honorable members, this honorable House is a honorable House that follows procedure. Unless you tell me today that Speaker kindly throw out all procedures, Honorable Speaker kindly throw out any applicable law, Honorable Speaker kindly throw out the Constitution of Kenya and allow us to lynch these 11 people without procedure. Honorable Sami, we shall be turning this House into a lynch mob. And you are now a second term member of Parliament, a member of this county assembly. You are a ranking member, Honorable Sami Muturi. The Englishman says, what goes around comes around. Today, the honors is on the budget committee. Tomorrow, it will be on you. And you come crying to the Speaker that procedure needs to be followed. Otherwise, we just need to agree then. We need not be a house of procedure. We need not to follow any law. We need not to follow the Constitution and decide things the way mobs, the public mobs, decide the fate of thieves in public. But I really want to push us as an honorable House that under whatever circumstances, in whatever matter that we are considering, let us follow our own rules. We set these rules for ourselves, and we set the rules to abide by them. We never set our rules so that people out there can abide by them. And it is so good because when you set your own rules, you know, honestly, what is so difficult in following them? Okay? It doesn't matter the end result. We shall still get the end result, but let us follow the rules that us, as an assembly, have set for ourselves. That is all I've said in the statement, Honorable Sami Harrison Muturi. So thank you, Honorable members. I think we shall proceed with the business. And the move of the motion is guided unless you want further guidance on.
Thank you for allowing me to, having been mentioned on the communication from the Chair, Honorable Speaker. I want to confirm to this House that, Honorable Speaker, I have earned your guidance. But Honorable Speaker, I want to say I am prepared. I brought a motion to you. I have the annexes which I am ready to actually table and even defend. The issues to do with what was passed by budget committee, what was discussed here, what was approved, all those things, Honorable Speaker, I have them. So I have done enough research. I am very ready. Only that, Honorable Speaker, will allow us. I would request this being announced of procedure. Understanding order number 64. The motion is proper in the House. We can have understanding order number 64. Have a procedural motion to allow this business, Honorable Speaker, to proceed. Yes. Honorable Speaker, if you allow me that, I will be another man.
Mover, you know, I have guided you. Standing order number 64 lies under part 14. Yes. Part 14 starts with standing order number 63 all the way to 78. And I've given you that leeway. Okay? And I don't know. I've given the leeway, Honorable Kira, and I have only insisted that we follow due procedure. And you know the procedure of even what you're talking about.
So, Honorable Speaker, I just wanted you to give me that leeway. We apply that standing order so that the member who is ready to move procedure to proceed.
Okay. Yes, Honorable Deputy Speaker.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. I think, Honorable Speaker, thank you for your wisdom ruling. But again, Honorable Speaker, I want to agree that this House is a house of procedure. Honorable Speaker, when allegations are put across members, and I want to believe, the Honorable Speaker, that this committee, called the Budget Committee and Appropriation, through this House, only represented this House in the point of aligning the budget as provided in the standing orders. The report was generated to this House, and the House passed the budget. And I think, Honorable Speaker, it would be unfortunate if we stand here and kill our own dignity. And I would really wish and humbly request my colleagues that the dignity of this House, Mr. Speaker, just like you've protected, it is something that we should all consider, even when emotions are high. I would just wish that my colleagues, we don't become emotional on this. Now that you've given us a space, Mr. Speaker, I would wish all of us as leaders, we sit down and think around this matter so that, Mr. Speaker, whatever the members wanted to achieve, if for sure it is objective, let's achieve it objectively, just like you've guided it, so that we have an opportunity to sit down as leaders of this county. Because by trying to come up with such a motion, Mr. Speaker, you're even saying the governor of this county is incompetent for having signed such a bill. So, Mr. Speaker, we are on the
Speaker, point order 120.
Honorable Sami Muturi, I just want us to conclude this so that I offer direction.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. That's what I was saying. Basically, we cannot, all of us, injure our image as a county full of leaders under your leadership, Mr. Speaker. This assembly needs to continue having its dignity. And your dignity and the dignity of this House is the dignity for all of us. So I'm only requesting the members that we tone down a bit, we create time, look at that motion. Basically, anything that is possible in this House, Mr. Speaker, for the people of Embu County to survive, we are going to support. But again, Mr. Speaker, even when they want to address you on the standing orders number 1, just like you said, Mr. Speaker, you do not have extra powers. You're not a superhuman being. The standing orders number 1 are very clear, that the Speaker can only make a ruling on a matter that is not provided for in law. All issues that they have raised, Mr. Speaker, you have quoted them very well in the standing orders, in the Constitution, Mr. Speaker. You have raised the issues about the standing orders itself. We cannot go against our own rules. So I think, Mr. Speaker, just like you guided, instead of us turning to be emotional, let us just be leaders. Let us swallow our little pride. We could have our own challenges, Mr. Speaker. The budget committee and all these other members are ready to sit so that we can be able to agree, Mr. Speaker. So that even when we want to embarrass ourselves, Mr. Speaker, we should not sit here and discuss a letter, a frivolous letter written by the CEC Finance, a letter that is done procedurally in this House, Mr. Speaker. Then we want to turn it into a motion, Mr. Speaker. Thank you, Mr. Speaker, but I beg that we be able to be cool so that we can be able to move forward. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Okay, now, Honorable Duncan.
Mr. Speaker, you realize I'm also high-ranking member of this county assembly, Mr. Speaker. While I want to agree with your ruling, Mr. Speaker, and the sentiments by one Honorable Swale, Mr. Speaker, I think we need to resolve this matter as quickly as possible. Mr. Speaker, I am the chairman of the ward rep. Mr. Speaker, the county executive is not ready to proceed with the implementation of project. Mr. Speaker, you know what has happened because of the rains, Mr. Speaker. So in your wisdom, Mr. Speaker, I would want to just bring it to your attention that this matter, from where we sit as the elected members of county assembly, Mr. Speaker, this issue is affecting us directly, is affecting the electorate directly, Mr. Speaker. And Mr. Speaker, I don't want us to rubbish the letter from the CEC. Mr. Speaker, CEC Finance is the person in charge of county treasury, Mr. Speaker. And therefore we cannot just say it is not proper in the House, Mr. Speaker, because that is where now we are going to start the trouble. When we started disputing figures which maybe the honorable members confirmed and has shared with some of us, Mr. Speaker. So I want to agree. We can engage, but Mr. Speaker, let us not rubbish a letter which is properly put aside by the CEC Finance, who is the county treasurer, Mr. Speaker. And therefore, and copied to all of us, copied to the governor, because that is the direction, Mr. Speaker. And I want to remind this House, Mr. Speaker, when we rubbish what the CEC Finance has written, and you know anytime we require money, Mr. Speaker, until the money is changed, that's the same person who is going to request money for us. So, Mr. Speaker, it's a serious issue when we say there are serious variations in terms of budget. And Mr. Speaker, when we are given time, Mr. Speaker, we are going to put very clearly whatever we pass here, Mr. Speaker, and what was approved, Mr. Speaker, those are two different documents. And we are ready to do that, Mr. Speaker. So, I would like the budget committee, sometimes when you are defending yourself, you might be putting salt to already wounded person, to the wood. Mr. Speaker, because we have the document, and at what point are we going to hold it as a county assembly, Mr. Speaker? That is another thing. So, mind, Mr. Speaker, to just narrow it down, we would like you to consider this matter be expedient as quickly as possible, but at the same time, we also avoid the issue of rubbishing that letter, Mr. Speaker.
Mover. I have offered you the platform, and you're ready to proceed. And our morning session is over. I have guided on the procedure and the starting orders. Nothing bars you from coming back at 2:30. Okay? So that it doesn't look like the speaker is here, the mover wants to move, the speaker is saying no. Okay? And because I've offered the necessary direction, I think we just need to abide by it. The mover will go prepare your motion, and then we shall proceed from there. I think that is adequate guidance.
Yes. I think Honorable Speaker, I'm okay with the direction. In the afternoon, we'll proceed with it. I will do the necessary procedures to make sure that in the afternoon, probably, we will continue, Honorable Speaker, as you have guided the information that we have.
Okay. I think that's it. Now, we had adjourned the debate because of this matter. And let us pray. Almighty God, who in your wisdom and goodness.
Order number 3, messages. Order number 4, petitions. Order number 5, papers.
Yes, Honorable Kira.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I would like to move the notice of motion that, notwithstanding the provisions of standing order number 15, standing order 215-2, and the 4 of the County Assembly of Embu standing orders, this Assembly resolves that the membership of the Budget Committee and Appropriation Committee be as listed hereunder, and that the quorum of the committee shall be 18 members. Member number 1, Honorable Ibrahim, Honorable Peter Murevi, Peter Nyaga, Peter Murevi, Honorable Jiro Paul Mushangi, Honorable Baka John Gari, Honorable Dwega Newton Karis, Honorable Atumo Frederick Mugendi, Honorable Kiola Murevi Jagi, Honorable Joki Jackson Musangi, Honorable Pushi Teresi Wanja, Honorable Nyaga Susan Werimo, Honorable Boydan Kanireri, Honorable Muriuki Masters, Leonard Masters, Honorable Mutui Harrison Same, Honorable Zangi Viri Pukenyoto, Honorable Gidungu Samuel Jaro, Honorable Kinywa Barnabas Jama, Honorable Karoli Julius Jage, Honorable Giveji Maurice Masharia, Honorable Munyambo Job Etumo, Honorable Jiro Edwin Morevi, Honorable Wakongoro Agnes Wajiro, Honorable Mate Yvonne Karambo, Honorable Jiro Anne Rire, Honorable Joel Jane Karimi, Honorable Moloni Susan Mwembe, Honorable Jimia Geneva, and Honorable Kavinda Mere Egoki.
Order number 7, questions and statements. Order number 8, procedural motion, exemption of business from the provisions of standing order.
The Honorable Duncan Bui.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I stand to move the procedural motion. Mr. Speaker, that the business appearing under order number 9 be exempted from the provisions of standing order number 64-5B of the County Assembly standing orders, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, this is a business that has been just moved the notice of motion, Mr. Speaker, and due to the nature of the work before us, Mr. Speaker, I pray this House to agree with us that we need to dispense with this business today, Mr. Speaker, so that we can be able now to move forward as a House, Mr. Speaker, due to the weight of the matter before the House. Mr. Speaker, I move and I request the Honorable Masharia to second the motion, Mr. Speaker.
Yes, the Honorable Masharia.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I second.
So, honorable members, I will now propose a question, which is that the business appearing under order number 9 be exempted from the provisions of standing order number 64(5)B of the County Assembly of Embu standing orders. I can read the moot. I will now propose the question, which is that the business appearing under order number 9 be exempted from the provisions of standing order number 64(5)B of the County Assembly of Embu standing orders. Will as many as that opinion say aye? Aye! Will as many as the contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it. Clerk.
Order number 9, motion.
The Honorable Murray Janikiwa.
Notwithstanding the provision of standing order 215, 2, and the 4 of the County Assembly of Embu standing orders, this House resolves that the membership of the Budget and Appropriation Committee be as listed hereunder, and that the quorum of the committee shall be 18 members. The reason that why I have brought this motion out to Speaker, we have actually agreed, all of us, to have the foreign members as listed here to make the budget committee, and also, Honorable Speaker, we have also agreed to raise the to have the quorum of the budget committee to be 18 members. So, members, Honorable Speaker, because I don't want to labor much, I have been working on this motion from the morning, Honorable Speaker, and I'm also very tired and very angry, Honorable Speaker. And you know, Kiora, the characteristic of Kiora or flow, Honorable Speaker, it only makes noise when it is not angry, Honorable Speaker, but when provoked. But now that I'm not provoked, we have made an agreement with these honorable members. Honorable Speaker, I want to confirm from this House, I have a list of all members of this County Assembly, the 30 of us. A bigger number of those members have signed in support of this motion, Honorable Speaker. I have a signed list with me here, and I know this one will be circulated so that members can agree with me that we have unanimously agreed the 27 members will form the members of Budget Committee moving forward.
And as the mover has given us a preamble of what has gotten us here, we would want to say that the only reason why we are doing this is to have inclusiveness in the budget making process, and that we already understand that we already have a stalemate, which is necessitating that we embark on a supplementary budget to align the approved budget with the diminishing physical space. This stalemate is also affecting the uptake of the equitable share, and most of the times you'll always find our county featuring having not spent a single cent in the first quarter and in the second quarter. We need then to align our budget within the provisions of the law, within the PFMA Act, to make sure that there is equal distribution of resources within the 20 electoral wards, and to make sure that there is no discrimination. And as of doing that, Honorable Speaker, we will maintain that we have a minimum of 30% of the development budget within the budget that is going to be supplemented, the one that was appropriated. So,
Embu grow, Mr. Speaker. And Mr. Speaker, I want to ask members, as we first started this house, we should know we pass government money, Mr. Speaker. Don't allocate funds in this house, and then when you call the benefit, then you say, like, what happened in Embu State? We know we get money to do the stores in Embu State. Mr. Speaker, instead of that money be allocated for young people, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, we don't know which method did not was Arsenal benefited, Mr. Speaker. That is conscious also. I'm elected to present people, Mr. Speaker.
What is your point of order?
Mr. Speaker, the member is dragging the motion in that dimension. Because, Mr. Speaker, the issue of construction of bus park and stage is not part of this motion, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, there is a member of this ward, Mr. Speaker, who is Honorable, Mr. Speaker. When the issue is dragged to his ward, Mr. Speaker, that is demeaning, Mr. Speaker. And so, Mr. Speaker, I kindly ask the member to stick on the motion.
Very well, Honorable Sami Muturi, you stick to the contents of the motion.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Start again, but you know, I'm representing people in Embu County, not only Rugo Kadori. So when I talk issues affecting us, people said me here. I'm not sorry to say things affecting our people. And Mr. Speaker, some people here will go to hell for pretending. Hypocrisy will never allow one to see God face to face. When you want to see God, be honest. Tell people of the truth. The truth will set you free. Mr. Speaker, as I support those names, I just want to tell those owners of the names to be careful, because what comes around goes around. What goes around comes around. That's my own English. And I'm telling people that it will catch up with you. If not you, your generation. If not your generation, nothing will go unpunished for those who do the wrong thing, especially to the innocent people of Embu. And I've chosen to choose what is right. I might be around on this, but there in heaven, I'll enjoy with my maker when I represent my people with honesty. Mr. Speaker, I've seen the name, and unconscious members. That's the chair of that committee, not be the members of those who belong to that the committee we are killing, because we need to be conscious. We need to be conscious. You cannot change this heart left, then you give right. We need to be cautious if we want our people of them to take us seriously. Because Speaker, I support.
Mr. Speaker, the motion is not to bring emotions in the House, but to bring the unity of this House. Mr. Speaker, we are happy that now as an assembly under your leadership, we have a motion that can be able to have inclusivity. Mr. Speaker, as matters budget are a bit emotive, and we have to agree as an assembly and as a people of Embu County that where the cake is, every other person wants to be part of it. And now that, Mr. Speaker, members have agreed that that is the way, then, Mr. Speaker, it shouldn't be a very big issue. Rather than we need to take responsibility as members and get to understand that the people of Embu County will be looking at us. It's one thing, Mr. Speaker, forming the budget committee with a maximum of 27 members, Mr. Speaker. Of course, I think in history, this will be the first in the country, in the county assemblies. But because that is what this assembly wants, Mr. Speaker, and because that is what makes all of us become part of the oversight board, Mr. Speaker, I believe, Mr. Speaker, the 27 members of this committee will be able to give us the direction. Mr. Speaker, we were keen, as part of the small committee that we were appointed by these members, to make sure that the threshold of the membership has been checked into this committee.
Nishukuru Maulana kwa amani iliyopo kwa sasa. Vile ilikuwa asubuhi haikuwa nzuri, ilikuwa mbaya. Ya pili, nishukuru aliyeleta mswada wa leo. Niseme kama sikuleta kwa hiyo mswada, hatungekuwa hapa kwa sasa. Niseme hivi, usipofanya kazi kwa umoja, na Mswahili naye alinena, umoja ni nguvu, utengano ni udhaifu. Usirudie yale makosa iliyofanywa ikatufanya tukae hapa tangu asubuhi mpaka sasa. Kwa hivyo tukianza kutekeleza ile jambo ambayo tumepewa, tufanye kwa ukamilifu, kwa uwiano, kwa utengamano, na tutumie haki. Upendeleo hauendi mbali. Kujipenda hakuta faidi yeyote. Hapo Mungu na akatujalie.
And our people are watching, our people are listening. And therefore the state is here to take the information back home. Or unto us, if we don't follow the words we are talking about today, if we don't follow in making our Mwananchi or the commoner to be satisfied. Mr. Speaker, I heard one of us saying that maybe the budget committees did not, and it was said here, and this is a house of record, it said that one member, the Honorable Robert Ngandore, said that this budget did not give chances to our hospitals to get medicine, which is wrong. I read, and I have read the budget properly, and I can tell you for free that I saw 450 million given for medicine. And as you well know, we have passed in this house even the FIF. So that was wrong information given in this house, and now that is not here, that's a story of another day.
Say, what people choose at some point is what you give them. I don't think many people in a committee could be a problem. For me, I feel it like it's a burden lightened, that everybody carries a portion of responsibility. When you carry a portion of responsibility as well, then there's also a portion of consequences.
I heard some statements saying that there are members who came to the floor of this house to defend the interest of the government. Mr. Speaker, I think people should get it right. They came here to represent the people who elected them, all the people they were specially elected to come and represent here, not the interest of the government. By that statement, I don't mean that we are fighting the government. We are here to support the system, the governance system, and advise where possible on matters that touches the operationalization of this county government. Mr. Speaker, the issue of the budget, I am one of the happiest member today. Because Mr. Speaker, now, from where I sit, I will be on the table. When the cake is brought, I was not there. I was struggling here and there, Mr. Speaker, to ensure that my people get the right equal share. But now I'll be having the knife and the meat will be before me. So, Mr. Speaker, in the wisdom of the Honorable Kiora, that all the elected members should sit in the budget committee was a well-informed decision.
I rise to support the motion because this is one of the longest and biggest days, this dispensation in the 3rd County Assembly. When we came in this morning, Honorable Speaker, personally I was here before 8, and the Deputy Speaker came and we spoke at length. Honorable Speaker, when you came in, you saw us in ribbons, and the word that came from your mouth was, I can see peace. You spoke about peace. Honorable Speaker, these ribbons were samples of peace of the County Assembly of Embu. Number one, before I continue, I want to thank the Budget Committee that has been, because we cannot wrap what they have said under the carpet or what they have done, because they have ran this county for the last 2 years. Honorable Speaker, we were vetting, or we came in the County Assembly on 9th of September. That only tells you that we have been here for 2 years. This is the time now to make a difference. What has happened today, Honorable Speaker, is a wake-up call to all the chairs to all the members of the various committees in this county assembly that nature asks us to do what is right.
Mr. Speaker, I'm expecting the same mistakes that maybe has made us lose confidence with the other budget committee, Mr. Speaker, should not be repeated. Mr. Speaker, let us embrace transparency, Mr. Speaker. Let us go to embrace accountability, Mr. Speaker, so that when we have already passed the document, Mr. Speaker, and everything has gone through the years of members and through all this assembly, Mr. Speaker, we are rest assured, Mr. Speaker, what we have agreed is what is going to be contained moving forward. And then, Mr. Speaker, I want to say we must seek sanity, and also we must get free of the temptations, Mr. Speaker, of corruption. Because corruption, Mr. Speaker, starts when I start imagining that I need more than my brother, Mr. Speaker. I need more than my sister, Mr. Speaker. That is how the corruption starts, Mr. Speaker.
Speaker, introduction of Bandi in the national government. It is also here in county government of Embu. We have also introduced other members who are supporting government in silence, like myself, Honorable Speaker. You can see where I'm sitting today. I am the side of government. That's a clear indication that I will be openly supporting the government, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, you can see where the Honorable Kavinda is. The Honorable Kavinda, when she is seated there, she is not opposing Honorable Speaker. She is actually embracing the spirit of togetherness, that nobody is limited. We are all going to support the government of today. Honorable Speaker, the another issue which was raised by the Honorable Karori on the he referred the Honorable Mushangi as the former chair. I want to correct him and tell him Honorable Mushangi is a member of Budget Committee. He is also eligible to be the chair. So,
we last minute, as of this opinion, say aye. Aye. We last minute, as of the contrary opinion, say nay. The ayes have it. Clap. I think prompting to make a direction of the elections. I think the relevant standing orders will apply. Thank you very much.
Honorable Speaker, as I had indicated that the matter is of the county important, Honorable Speaker, I have a motion that I want to move a motion of no confidence with the County Assembly of Embu Budget and Appropriation Committee. Honorable Speaker, aware that there has been an arrangement between Her Excellency the Governor of Embu County and the elected members of the County Assembly of Embu representing the 28 wards, that each ward shall get an equal share of a ward equalization fund of 30 million Kenya shillings worth project. Further aware that each electoral ward was supposed to get an allocation of project worth at least 20 million Kenya shillings in 2024-2025 budget estimate. Noting that the County Executive Committee member for Finance, who is also a head of Treasury, County Treasury, through a letter relevant EC/FEP/CA/7 volume 4 195 dated 15th August 2024 express dissatisfaction on processing the budget, citing violation of Regulation 39 of the Public Finance Management Regulation 2025. Further noting that the discrimination in allocation of funds is a grievous violation of Constitution of Kenya, Article 37, as read together with Article 203 of the Constitution of Kenya, realizing that the County Executive Committee member for Finance expressed disturbances in the distribution of the World Equalization Fund, where some warrants were allocated as high as 53 million Kenya shillings were each, while other were allocated as low as 17 million Kenya shillings worth of the project, concerned that the unfair distribution of World Equalization Fund unfair disadvantaged elected honorable members for who are not members of the Budget and Appropriation Committee. I don't have to speak that members of the Budget Appropriation Committee allocated themselves and their award huge sums of funds in their awards. Now, therefore, Honorable Speaker, this assembly resolved to pass a motion of no confidence in the Budget and Appropriation Committee, and the mandate, duties, roles, and responsibility of the Budget and Appropriation Committee be taken up by the Committee on World Representation until the County Assembly otherwise resolved. Honorable Speaker, in my motion, Honorable Speaker, I have the attachment of the budget. I have gone through the budget since the time we passed that in this Honorable Speaker. And going through the entire budget, Honorable Speaker, we have realized we have the members of the budget committee have allocated monies to their work, huge monies, Honorable Speaker. We have agreed, Honorable Speaker, with the Honorable Excellence, Honorable Speaker, will be allowed to at least propose project worth 20 billion per ward for us to be at least to equalize all wards, Honorable Speaker, in this county of Embu, Honorable Speaker. But now that we gave mandate to the Budget and Appropriation Committee to actually deal with budget, Honorable Speaker, it is our surprise now, those members, instead of now doing what we agreed, Honorable Speaker, they decided to add to the wards project more than what we had agreed, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, that one has brought a problem to our relationship with the Executive, Honorable Speaker, on matters of budget. And that why, Honorable Speaker, because we want to move on, Honorable Speaker, we know we have a budget in place, and now that the CC member, the Executive have cited some serious violation of Constitution by those members cannot arbitrate for themselves, Honorable Speaker. That's why I have decided to move this motion, so that the matters of the budget can be handled by a different committee as we wait for the members to actually organize themselves. Honorable Speaker, this is not personal. We are not dealing with individual members, but Honorable Speaker, a committee of this Honorable House is given mandate to be sitting on behalf of other honorable members. All of us can sit in that committee, but we gave 11 members mandate to continue dealing with issues with the budget. Now that those members have shown us that there is a problem, Honorable Speaker, the issue of what we had agreed in a memorandum, Honorable Speaker, we are violating that one. Honorable Speaker, I have the annexes, I have the attachment in my motion. Each vote is allocated per word, Honorable Speaker. And Honorable Speaker, I don't want to go to details, because now this motion after this will be a public document, Honorable Speakers. And the members, the majority of members, including the members of that committee, they have a letter from the CC member. I know they have their response at that time, but at this time, Honorable Speaker, because we want to move on, we want to have a sanity, we want that members be set aside, that committee be at least given a leave, so that we can allow another committee to continue dealing with the matters of budget. Honorable Speaker.
Order number 4, petitions. Order number 5, papers.
I have a paper to on the table. Embu County Government Freight Management Policy.
Roads, transport and infrastructure.
Order number 7. Motion, approval, consideration of the report of the Public Accounts Committee on financial statement of Embu County Government Emergency